just to conclude, that man-made UFO technology was derived from the technology we learned from the aliens, and since we've now mastered that, you're saying 70-80% of what we see is actually that man-made UFO.
Sure, and when I talked to the pilot David Fravor about his chasing that object off the coast of California that's been on the media, we immediately knew it was a Lockheed object. It was not, and she couldn't believe it. He says, "We don't have anything like that." I said, "Sir, with all due respect, you were read into jet engines, maybe rockets. You were not. These are deep black projects that have been going on since the 40s. And I always tell people an astonishing date, October 1954 is the date that we mastered gravity control. We had craft that were experimental, that were kind of wobbly. You look at some of the old high 8 movies and you see the craft, they look like a falling leaf. Those were ours that were not stable. The gyro, the stability of the system wasn't stable. And I can look at a videotape from the 40s, 50s, say, that's one of ours, that they had not stabilized the guidance system on it. But I have a man who was the top scientist at the Naval Research Labs, the largest defense lab in the world, there in DC. And his name was Rick Foe. She's passed away. He was in the vault and saw the documents where we had mastered and finally controlled gravity control, it was called, October 1954. So remember, if you look at the testimony and the evidence we have from Brad Sorensen about what was called the ARV, the Alien Reproduction Vehicle, all that material is in the archive. That's a whole section. And that was built in the late 50s, early 60s, and had scorch marks on it. It was on an air show at Norton Air Force Base. And this whole account is in there, including excellent artist renderings of this object and schematics and a blueprint of what it was in the interior. And that was man-made. And it had moved all through the solar system. And this was before my uncle, who helped work on the lunar module, landed on the moon with Neil Armstrong. He was Northrop Grumman his whole career. Put that first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong. This would have been in the late 50s, early 60s. So there's a whole history to unpack, aerospace history, that James Goodall and others have now acknowledged and gotten information from Ben Rich, the head of the Skunk Works, that we had these objects. So if you have them and they're used in a deceptive operation, everyone's going to go, oh, that's an alien craft. Well, it isn't. And same thing with all of the abductions. Those have been man-made, staged events for their, quote, psychological warfare value. How do we know this? We have direct testimony from Air Force intelligence. We have documents. We have an entire dossier from Martin Cannon, who documented this in the 80s. And we have Jacques Vallée, Dr. Jacques Vallée, admitting in a 1992 entry in a book that he wrote that he had a 1985 document that is an official document of the CIA. I know 2 other people who have it, where it says they were committing alien abductions using man-made UFOs with stagecraft, where they use creatures that look alien, but they're not. It's robotics or humans made up to look like an ET in Brazil and Argentina. And it says, quote, for their psychological warfare value. Now, go back 30 years to 1953, and I have a document from the director of the CIA that's in the archive that says, and it was a psychological warfare board meeting, and it was saying the psychological warfare value of the UFO issue. Excuse me, I got a thing in my throat. Should be exploited. Well, that was in 53, a year before they knew they were going to be close to getting these operational man-made UFOs. And so they started a whole program of deception and gaslighting so that people would know, is it real or is it Memorex, like the old commercial for the tapes? Is it ours? Is it theirs? And this has obfuscated the UFO research on this issue, but it's also created a mythology around the subject that supports a false narrative, which Werner von Braun, who invented the rocket for Adolf Hitler, warned Carol Rosin, who's on our team, on his deathbed, that we would stage a threat from outer space to try to create a global unification around a military threat rather than peace. And that was concocted way back in the 50s. He told her that in 1974, 50 years ago.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy.
I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year is going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone. Also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up.
If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make?